Welcome out to Comic Production Update, issue number 2. Mikey from Chronicles of the Nerds here. So, as my overly dramatic first video showed you, I have intention of making a comic. Before I kind of have you guys walk into my world about what it's like to do what I do, I wanted you guys to see where I came from as far as how comics have affected me. So, quick little story. Basically, I couldn't read. My parents are like, oh, he can't read. So they put me in every single remedial class ever. My brother, though, gave me X-Men #1. Okay? Now, I got hooked on this like an inner city kid on crack. It was ridiculous. I started reading comics. I wanted more and more. More and more. My brother started taking me to the comic book store with him. And I started reading like a maniac. I went from pretty much a 4th grader who had like a 1st or 2nd grade reading average. And then after the next standardized test, I had the reading average of a sophomore in high school all over 1 year because I got into comics. So when people say that this is just for kids, that this stuff is just pointless or it's not going to help your mind at all, they're fucking full of shit because I will probably be a functional illiterate right now if it weren't for comic books. So I kind of wanted to take you on a tour of some of the things that have affected me and helped me grow up. Now, when I got into early high school, kind of middle school, I did fall out of comics for a little bit, like most people did in the 90s. Because the market got kind of crazy. There wasn't really much story in the comics anymore. It was all big tits and big pecs and explosions, just like every action movie. So it kind of got boring, so I kind of fell out. And it was this little book, Battle Chasers by Joe Madureira, that got me back. Like, great storytelling, dramatic, just everything awesome, and it was a fantasy story. Just fell in love again, got hooked. And that was pretty much in high school, and I started getting into comics hardcore again. And I just wanted to take you on to take a peek at some of the things that really just helped me understand that comics is in fact an art form, not just, you know, a medium of entertainment. The cinematic layouts. And this is Matt Wagner's Mage, which came out in 1984 originally. Just so cinematic, so beautiful, and just subtle. Other things that just got me just hooked. Ultimate Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis. Some of the most emotional comics you're ever going to read. Just sadness, and just look at panels like this, and you can totally just see everything. You don't need a single word because they plotted it out so brilliantly. So after pretty much getting back into comics in high school, as you can see, if you look around, I kind of got a little carried away. And I have been doing nothing but studying and enjoying comics since then. So that kind of pretty much brings us to the point where I'm at, where after all these years, this 27 years of my life, just being in love with a medium, I decided to write my own books, try to put a little something, give a little back to the industry, and see what can be done. So hopefully you'll pick up some of the things that I just showed you, and then next week I'm going to take you into some of the writing processes that I've been going through. Until then, have a good day, night, like summer dinner. Have good Easter. That's something coming up. Have a good